Hi and welcome to my free copywriting course for beginners, 4 powerful copywriting formulas. Hi, it's Les and welcome to the video. How's it going? In this video I'm going to go through 4 very powerful copywriting formulas which I've never seen these 4 formulas put together in one place. So there's a lot of information in this video. Might be a little bit longer than my usual videos, but there's a lot of stuff in here that's going to give you tremendous value. Now make sure to watch through to the end of the video because I don't want you to miss out. I've got a very special offer on the video where I'm going to give you a $500 voucher, okay, but that's only at the end of the video, so make sure you watch through to the end. Now what is the AIDA formula? Well, the letters simply stand for attention, interest, desire and action. So those are the 4 steps in this particular formula, and this is the first of the 4 formulas we'll look at. As I say, I've never seen all these 4 formulas put together in the one place, so there's a lot of info here for you. So let's start with the first step of AIDA, attention. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab the attention of your reader. Okay, so you can do that with a powerful headline or a powerful opening statement. If you look at some of my other videos, you'll see where I talk about powerful headlines. But the trick with the AIDA formula is to, first of all, grab the attention. You can use bold visuals or a very striking opening sentence, anything that's going to grab the attention of your audience. It's very important using the AIDA formula that you get the attention up front, okay? And make sure that the copy you put into the AIDA formula is relevant. There shouldn't be any disconnect between what you say and what you actually deliver at the end of the day. So everything must be very congruent. One thing must flow naturally from, you know, the opening statement to the rest of the copy. So make sure that everything is congruent, and that goes for, you know, the wording, colors, the way pages look, all that kind of thing. Make sure that everything just naturally flows into each other. So the second step in the AIDA formula is interest. So once you've got the reader's attention, you've got to keep them interested, and you can do this by highlighting the benefits of the product or service that you're writing about. So, you know, the benefits, and let me explain on the benefits. Make sure it's the benefits you highlight, not the features. So for example, you could say, you know, this is the brightest screen in the world, for example, the brightest computer screen in the world. But that's a feature, that's not a benefit. What you should be saying is this is the brightest video screen in the world, which means you'll get less eye strain and less headaches at the end of the day. So make sure to outline benefits and not features, okay? Something else you can address is the reader's pain point. What are they finding difficult at the moment? What are they finding challenging? What's keeping them awake at night? Their pain points. So in terms of getting their interest, if you can address their pain points, you'll do that very well indeed. And use compelling language and vivid imagery. So paint a picture in your reader's mind in terms of what you're talking about. This is very powerful in terms of getting their interest. Once you've got the attention, you've got to capture that interest and keep them interested in what you're writing about. So next in this formula, we move on to desire. So you need to build a desire. Once you've got the interest, you need to build a desire for the product, and you can do that by discussing its features and its benefits, and, you know, painting a picture of the, as we said previously, the problems that the product or service solves. And again, use emotional language. You need to engage with your reader. You need to write in a language which is going to closely engage with them and get them interested in your product and create that desire that they can't actually live without your product, okay? You could also create a sense of scarcity, saying that the product will only be available for a certain length of time. But be careful with this. Make sure if you use scarcity that you use it properly and the scarcity you use is genuine. Okay, and then the final part in this is the action. So we've got the attention, we've got the interest, we've got the desire. The next thing we need to do is get the reader to take action. And how we do that is we give them a very clear call to action and tell them exactly what you want to do next. Now, a very important point on calls to action, only give them one thing to do, okay? Don't give them multiple choice because you know, a confused mind will not take action. Just give them one thing to do. This is a mistake I see all the time, but people give the reader too many choices at the end of the day. Give them one call to action, one thing to do next, okay? And use language in your writing that makes them want to take action. You know, words like do this now, do this immediately, take this action without delay. You know, use language that encourages them to take the action and encourages them to follow the call to action you give them. And you obviously provide a link to a page or ask them for a phone number or an email address, whatever the action is you want them to take, make sure you give them one clear call to action. Your page, if this is a sales page, you only want them to do one thing from that sales page. Don't confuse the reader. And the final thing on action is to make it very straightforward and easy for them to take that action. Okay? Don't have your reader jumping through hoops to take action. Make it very, very simple. You know, say to them, click on this link, tell them what they get when they click on the link, and make sure it's, you know, whatever you take them to is very straightforward. And as I say, the whole part of what we would call the sales funnel, the whole part of this funnel is very congruent. Everything looks the same, the wording looks the same. You're not going to shock them suddenly with something that stands out and they think, oh, that doesn't fit into the sales funnel or whatever it says they're looking at. Make everything congruent. The colors, the design, everything must be congruent with what you're offering and what you're asking the reader to do. Okay, that's it for the AIDA formula. Let's now move on to a formula which is called the PAS formula. Just a quick reminder to make sure you watch through to the end, and I'll tell you where you can get your hands on that $500 voucher at the end of the video. So what does PAS stand for? Well, it stands for problem, agitate, solve. So this is a 3-step formula. The previous one was a 4-step formula. This is only 3 steps, and it's used to help you write copy that addresses the pain points that your reader has got. So we mentioned pain points in the previous video, and you find that a few of these formulas overlap. But the thing is, by putting these things together, you're going to have some really powerful information to help you in this free copywriting course. Okay, so the first thing is the problem. That's the P of the PAS. Identify the problem that your target audience is facing. As we've said previously and in other videos, the best place to start your copywriting is with a problem. So get yourself to the problem and use descriptive language to again show you understand the pain points they're facing. So you've got to get on the reader's side with this. You've got to show them that you understand the pain points that they're facing, and make sure that the reader feels heard and understood. In other words, you've got to make that close connection with the reader before you get into, you know, trying to sell a product or whatever it is you're trying to do with your copy. You've got to get the reader on side with you. So take some time to do the P of the PAS, which is the problem part of the PS formula. Take time to do that properly. So once you've identified the problem, the next stage in PAS is to agitate the problem. Now, what does that mean? So you've identified the problem, agitate the problem, make it bigger in the reader's mind, really make them understand that you understand the problem, but also make it bigger in the reader's mind by showing them the negative consequences of this problem they've got. You're really going to bring this problem home and make them, you know, obviously show them you understand the problem, but make them really feel that this problem is an issue. And you do that by highlighting the pain points and, you know, the pain points the reader is feeling. So make sure to get on the reader's side and show that you understand the pain points they're feeling. And obviously use emotional language when you do this. You know, convey a sense of emotion to the reader and also a sense of urgency to get them to take action when you come to the points of asking them to take an action step. Okay, so then finally the third part of the PS formula is the solve part. So after agitating the problem, you then obviously you provide the solution. So you're providing the solution to the pain and the agitation they feel. Show how your product or service can solve the problem and improve the situation. So you're justifying the product or service that you're writing about is going to solve the pain that you've previously agitated. And then highlight the benefits, as we said before, and the unique selling points of your product. Okay, so as I say, some of this is similar to the other formulas we look at, but as I say in this video, I want to give you 4 formulas. I've never seen these 4 formulas all in one place. So a lot of information, as I say, to absorb here. So that's 2 formulas for you already, guys. And the third formula we'll look at is the FAB formula. This is quite a straightforward one, and it kind of touches on, it actually stands for features, advantages, and benefits. So, you know, you've got your features, you've got benefits, but we also look at advantages as well. And this is a good exercise to really pull out the benefits of a product or service, to really emphasize to the reader why they should buy your product or service. So features, advantages, benefits. Let's start with features. So the first thing you do is you start out by listing the features of your product. Now, these are not the benefits of your product like we discussed before. This is the features. So, you know, you'll say it's big, it's small, it's red, it's blue, it's grey, it's expensive, it's cheap, it's whatever the feature may be. Every product has a set of features, but it's not features that you're going to be selling to the reader at the end of the day. Now, when you set out the features, it's important to be very specific and list the features in detail. Okay, you've got to be specific about the features of your product, telling the reader what it is about the product is likely going to be to their advantage as we get to the advantage at the end. Now, make sure the features that you list are relative to your target audience. So you should have, you know, usually something like a buyer persona where you understand your target audience and you make sure that the features you list are relevant to the persona that you're trying to sell to at the end of the day with your copywriting. Next, move on to the advantages. This is a little bit more involved than just features and benefits. Now we're looking features, advantages and benefits. So your advantage could be explaining to the reader the advantage of each benefit you've just listed out, because obviously every feature has an advantage. So the advantage would be potentially why that feature is better than some other type of product, or, you know, why it's a market leader, or something which is a particular advantage of the features that you've previously listed before. Then again, getting back to what we talked about before, problems, list out how the advantages tend to solve a problem that the reader is facing, a problem or an issue, whatever keeps them awake at night. Okay, and then at the end of advantages, a good step is to, as I was saying now, explain how the advantages are better than the competition. Okay, so you're comparing yourself to the competition, you're making it clear that you have advantages which the competition simply doesn't have. And in the final step, which is the benefits, finally describe the benefits of each advantage. So you've got the feature, you've got the advantage, why it's better, and now you're going into the benefit. So a good way of thinking of this is using the phrase in between each, which means, even if you just use this in your head. So for example, you say, you know, this is the biggest computer screen in the world, which makes it much better than the other computer screens on the market, which means that you won't get eye strain and you won't get headaches. So you're getting your feature, advantage, benefit, and a handy way of doing that is to put which means in between each one of those. So feature, which means advantage, which means benefit, okay? And then use emotional language, connect with the reader, make them want, desire this product, make them want to get the product or service that you're offering. So use the kind of language which is going to encourage your reader to take action and emotionally connect with your problem and get that. I think we all know the feeling where it's something, you know, you've got to buy. I mean, we all buy with emotion and justify the purchase later. So you've got to create that emotion that makes the reader and the potential customer want to buy in the first place by using language. So now on to the final formula in the series of 4, which is called the before-after bridge. Now, what is the before-after bridge? It simply means painting a picture in your reader's mind of the situation before you solve the problem with your product or service, and then bridging the gap between the before situation to the after situation where you solve the problem, as I say, with your product or service. So the before, start with before first of all. Start by describing the current situation or the problem that your target audience is facing. So this is very similar to starting with a problem which we've already discussed. Again, use descriptive language and make the reader feel that you understand the problem they're facing. This is quite similar to what we've covered before, but this is, I'll explain about making this bridge. And then paint a vivid picture of the current struggles in the reader's mind, as we've talked about previously. Now, the after is where you describe the future state and the situation that the product or service can help, and how things are going to look in the future once their problem or issue, the thing, as I say, that keeps them awake at night, is solved. Use descriptive language here again to help them really envisage the future. Try and get that picture of the future into the reader's mind, so they're really starting to see how much better their life could be with the problem solved, okay? And then highlight the benefits and the positive outcomes that the reader can expect by going from the before situation to the after situation. So now we've got the before, we've got the after. the next thing to do is get them to how we get them from the before to the after, and this is the bridge part of the before-after bridge. So you bridge the gap between the current situation and the desired future state, and you do that by explaining how your product or service helps the reader achieve the desired outcome. So this is the bridge part. Your product or service is the bridge that bridges between the before situation and the after situation. As a way of proving that bridging the gap works, it's very powerful here to use customer testimonials in your writing. So if you've got customer testimonials, you can use that to prove that your bridging of the gap works for the client, the reader and the potential client. So using this technique here of bridging the gap between the before and after with your product is a powerful way of engaging the reader and convincing that your product or service is what they're looking for. And as I say, if you can use testimonials, it's even further social proof that this does actually work for them. So there we are, guys, a slightly longer video than usual. Just to summarize, we've covered 4 copywriting techniques, 4 copywriting formulas. We started with the AIDA, which was the attention, interest, desire and action formula. Next we did the PAS, which was the problem, agitate and solve formula. The third one we did was the FAB, which is your features, advantages and benefits. Very important to finish on a benefit. Don't just list features. This is a mistake I see a lot, that companies list out the features of the products without going into the benefits. So don't just list out features. You've got to develop that through to a benefit. And then finally we did the bridge technique, the before and after bridge, where we bridge the before and after situation with your product or service. Okay, so that's that for this video. I hope that was helpful. There's a lot of information there. I do understand that some of these formulas overlap, but by applying those formulas and being aware of them and applying them to your copywriting, you're going to be a very good copywriter indeed. I can guarantee you that. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe for more information like this. And if you want to drop a comment down below. I reply to all my comments myself. So I'll see your comments and I will reply to it. Now, I promise you right at the start a $500 voucher. I'm going to direct you to that now. There's a link on the screen. Go to that link on the screen. It'll tell you all about where you can get that voucher, how you can apply it. So hit the link, links on the screen. I'll put a link in the description as well. Go find out about your voucher. Take advantage of that. And once again, guys, thanks for watching all the way through. I hope this has been helpful. As I say, there's plenty of information here to help you, all for free. So as a new copywriter, this is going to help you a lot. Okay, so I hope it's helpful and we'll talk again soon. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.